Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk to you about depression, and I'm going to talk to you about my experience with antidepressant drugs so you can decide whether you really are depressed or this whole thing is a big joke. Alright, so I was inspired to make this video because I know that there are so many of you, so many of us who are on antidepressant drugs. You may be taking Prozac, you may be taking all kinds of drugs that you don't even know what's in it or where it came from or what it's doing to you. So this video is to share with you my experience, and hopefully it's going to maybe show you an alternative way of finding happiness, and just maybe just having more awareness about what's going on. Like, I'm not telling you to get off drugs, I'm not telling you to not do your medication, but I'm just sharing with you my experience. And in my experience, a lot of these drugs and a lot of these labels and a lot of this disease that they are labeling us by doctors are actually complete bullshit, and they have no reality. And this is a big scam. That's what's happening right now with the drug industry. Now, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor, so anything I say in this video is not a medical advice by any means. This is just me sharing random stuff. So anything I say, don't take it for medical advice, whatever, right? Anyway, so my experience with antidepressants. I was on Prozac personally for maybe 3-4 years of my life. 3-4 years of my life I was on Prozac. You know, I started it because I wasn't feeling very well. I went to a doctor. He gave me, you know, I told him I'm depressed. You know, I'm not happy. And he's like, okay, great. Here's your prescription. So I get my prescription drug and I become really happy, and I become happy as in, like, I got what I wanted, because I was looking for this pill to make me happy, and of course the pill did make me happy to a degree, like it actually works. But the thing is, the happiness that it brings, it comes with a price. So although I was actually happier, there was something missing from my life. It was making my mind more dull. It was kind of putting my life, how can I explain it? It's almost like it doesn't allow you to grow. It doesn't allow you to become all that you can become. It kind of makes you happy, like a little drunk happy, where you just kind of, you feel just happy with whatever is going on and you don't evolve. That's the best way I can describe it. So basically, I was on this drug for 3-4 years. I was diagnosed at some point with depression. Later on, I was diagnosed with bipolar, and these are by different doctors, each by different psychiatrists and doctors. And then again, later on, I was diagnosed with ADD. Twice I was diagnosed with ADD, and each time this different doctor diagnosed me differently. So the first doctor didn't say you have bipolar. The first doctor said you're depressed. The second doctor said you have bipolar. The third doctor said you have ADD, and so on. So you see the pattern, you see the joke. It just, depending on what mood I was in and what information I was giving this doctor, he was telling me what drug I should take. So anyway, long story short, what happened at the end is, after about 4 or 5 years, and a lot of shit happened in these times, with a lot of suffering, a lot of misery, a lot of pain. But at the end of the day, what happened is I went to this psychiatrist, and I just, I did this long process of question and answers, and finally he sat in front of me and he said, "Sean, listen to me." Or I think he was a psychiatrist. Yeah, the ones who give you medicine, can actually prescribe medication, because I wanted another kind of pill to heal me. And he basically sat in front of me and he said, "Sean, you told me," and I told him all my goals, everything. They asked a lot of questions. He's like, "Sean, you told me you want to have a girlfriend, you want to have a nice car, you want to have a job." These are all the things that I didn't have back then. And he's like, "You told me all these things, and you are depressed because you don't have those things right now in your life. A person in your age, a person with your abilities needs to have those things. And because you don't have these basic things in your life, you're not happy. Once you go and get those things and you become, reach your goals, you become happy. There's nothing wrong with you. He said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. He said, I can give you some antidepressants and you can do it for now, but it's really not the answer. So he was, honestly, like, I hated him at the moment. I actually really, really hated this guy. I wanted to die. I was angry, I was pissed off. I had to go twice to this doctor and write all these notes and tell him about my life, and all he can tell me is nothing is wrong with you, and I know it's wrong with you. I'm sad, I'm pissed off, I'm depressed. What do you mean there's nothing wrong with you? But anyway, this guy was actually a true doctor, a real doctor, who really told me the truth. Otherwise, I was just going to become on another drug. And I was so tempted to still get the prescription for antidepressants, but I was like, somehow I didn't. I don't know how I didn't. But it was a miracle, because I normally would have. But anyway, and next thing I know, life changes. I move to a different city. I get a new job. And it's been now 5 years. I have not touched any antidepressant drugs. And surprisingly, there's nothing wrong with me. I have no problem with, well, I shouldn't say I have no problem. I still have a lot of problems. I still have a lot of problems. I still have, like, downtime, sadness, loneliness. All these things, they're never going to go away, okay? Everybody has those problems. That's just called being a human, right? That's just, in Buddhism, they call the truth number one of life is life is suffering, okay? So there's no way around this. But the thing is, I don't have this story that I'm depressed in my head. I know that this is what it is. Some days are good, some days are awesome, some days are shitty. Simple fact. And there is a lot of things that I can do through fitness, through books I read, through materials that I expose myself to, through meditation, through prayer, that I can actually become so much more happy and so much more optimistic about my life. So, I guess the point of this video is, if you've been labeled as a depressed, as a bipolar, as anything that you've been labeled, I'm not saying you're not, you may be, but I'm just telling you, chances are you're not, and I'm almost positive you're not, but I can't tell you that because I really don't know you. But from all the things that I've seen, especially, like, you can actually search this YouTube video, you can search this documentary. It's called Making a Killing, and this is all about how these drug companies are making money from you and I, and they are making a killing. So a lot of the shit that they label us as depressed, bipolar, anti-ADD, all those things, a lot of them are made up. That means this is just a judgment of that person. They give you a prescription, and that's it. And they make money. The drug companies make millions and millions and billions of dollars. It's $1 billion business. So what should you do? What should you do if you think that's the case? Well, first of all, become aware that that's possible. Watch this documentary. Get more awareness on what's going on. And then you got to get really, really, really honest with yourself. Get really honest with yourself. What was the reason you got on the pill? Were you trying to look for a shortcut for your bigger problems? Is it something big in your life that you're not facing, like I wasn't? Like I wasn't facing my own, lack of discipline to get shit done, to get a job, to, stop doing drugs and going out and drinking and doing all that stuff. And as a result of that, I was miserable and I was depressed. So then I was doing all those stuff. But when I became honest with myself after enough failing and suffering, when I became honest with myself and I started to say, okay, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to stop that, and I'm just going to, do the right thing, and I'm just going to try my best to do the right thing, then life started to get a lot better. And then eventually, like life started to get so much better. So that's, I guess that's the point of this video, is to just get really honest with yourself and find out what is the one thing that you're not facing in your life, and maybe that's the thing that you have to face in order to feel true happiness. The other thing that has really helped me is meditation. I started to go to this meditation course, and it had an incredible effect on my calmness and peace of mind and things like that. So there's a lot of benefits in that. You can try doing that. That's another natural way to heal depression. And the other way was actually, oh yeah, I started to go to church. And when I started to go to church, and I'm not trying to turn this into a religious thing at all, by the way. Like, I'm not trying to convert you in any way. This is just me sharing my experience of what happened to me and how it helped me. So I started to go to church because I was feeling really sad and lonely, and I was feeling really anxious about my business. So one day I just went to church and I listened to a sermon and I started to cry, and it really touched me. So and I heard a lot of miracles through church. So maybe you want to try that. I don't know what's your religion or what's your background. Maybe you want to go to church and just ask God for healing. And maybe one day you're going to wake up and you really don't need any more pills. Just like that. And then you're going to experience what it's like to be free of these drugs. Because our bodies naturally has the ability to heal. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, but this is basically a just summary of my experience. I was on drugs for 4 years of my life, taking Prozac, all different kind of drugs. I was labeled as all kinds of disease and sicknesses, and the past 5 years I haven't had anything, and I didn't need any treatment. I didn't need to do anything. I just had to get my shit together, get a job, start working, and getting my stuff in order, and having an organized life, and stop doing things that I knew I shouldn't do. And as a result of that, life got a lot better. Still there is problems, but it's just a lot better. I don't need to be on these stupid pills to make me feel normal. So I hope you found this video useful, and have a great day. Oh yeah, and if you have any questions or if you have any comments, just post it. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.